man. Like I said, if Hyvaa wants to study games with Choya, he's going to have to look at the old dusty VODs of like 2010, where all the builds that Choya used no longer even matter or exist.
Well, guys, we are going to our first game here in the second part of the GSTL All-Star match. Hyvaa versus Choya. Bets are going on the bench of the players as well. We're going to game number 1 here on Yonsu with Colorful. Starting to the bottom right, we have the Protoss player. He is starting for the red team today. It is
FXO Choya.
FXO Choya, the big smirk here. What does he have up his sleeve today? Is it going to be the proxy Colossus that we saw from him on maps like Antigua? What is Hyvaa going to do? He's starting to the top right. Let's give him a proper introduction. The Zerg player in blue.
So, Hyvaa.
There's a lot of banter about, Hyvaa said, sorry if I end this really quickly. And
no early pull this time. No early pull.
And the question is Choya going to make a Nexus? Because in televised matches, he's made, I think, maybe 2. I think he canceled 1 for an all-in. But he is going gateway first, actually.
Yeah. Going for a gateway opening here. And from Hyvaa, we have the spawning ball at a normal timing. Hyvaa, is it really you? I'm not sure.
You know, the question is, how much does Choya actually play, you know, more than watching? Because as a coach, you know, obviously play a little bit, make sure you still get the feel. But he's not going to be playing half as much as Hyvaa is. Hyvaa is a top tier player, one of the best players we have in the world here, a high-level player from WCS Korea.
Yeah, the thing with Choya, on the other hand, is always you never know what you get. You know, you always have some weird build prepared for you, and if you don't see that, if you don't scout it, then you're just going to be in trouble. Once again, the probe trying to do its best here to delay the suspension for as long as possible, but finally has to retreat. And so far, actually, a pretty standard opening. I mean, Choya is going into gateway core, and on the other hand, we have for Hyvaa the expansion with a pretty normal timing after all.
And well, I wonder if. You know, Choya is obviously taking the faster gateway here. You know, when I say that, I mean he's going to be taking the build that can be aggressive faster, especially because Hyvaa doesn't have any gas. I don't know if this is a trick, and as soon as the probe leaves, he's going to start taking that gas. Doesn't look like it, because he hasn't done it yet, and I think he's just going to take a fast third hatchery, use those Zerglings to secure the location. And Choya with the Nexus right in the eyes of the Overlord.
Overlord is there. He sees everything. He knows exactly what's going down right now. And at the same time, Hyvaa, of course, now going into his queens, to the top right, always with the opportunity to get another base. It would be a very fast third base given the opening that we've seen here from Choya. Usually as a Zerg player, you take it rather around the 5-minute mark, maybe up to 5:30 when you take the third. But Hyvaa apparently not afraid to drop that hatch after all at a normal timing, 4:20 in the game, and we see him with hatch number 3.
Yeah. Very quick third hatch here. Probe actually chased all the way back to the main base. The Zerglings in the main as well will have to leave once the Mothership Core floats towards them. But will he get the probe? Looks like the answer is yes. Whoa! No? Yes.
Well, not really. I mean, he's trying.
Probe controlled by Choya himself. And it looks like the probe actually will live to mine another day.
The Lings are just running around here trying to find out what exactly is happening. Choya is pulling out the APM right now, going up to 380, the 400 blinking there for a second. Hyvaa with the third base, and you know, the third was never really scouted by Choya. He's of course assuming that there has to be a third at some point, but he doesn't know about the timing, and him himself just getting the Nexus now ready and into the game. I feel that so far Hyvaa is doing pretty good here.
Now if this is really Choya, he's going to add 6 gateways with this and move across the map.
It has to be something.
It must
like
be
that.
Hyvaa in the booth. Wait, no, but he's in the other booth, so I don't know.
There's the probe still hiding.
Yeah, on the high ground though, so he's not spotted. Nice position here by Choya. You know, Choya, if he gets that pylon up, he is definitely going to do something. And it looks like he might just go for 3-gate aggression. Only 3 gateways. Still effective though.
And of course he gets the pylon up.
Yeah. It was a good juke on the probe, really. And position is good for the pylon. He can warp right onto the low ground.
Yeah, I can't believe the pylon wasn't scouted.
I mean, it's Choya we're talking about.
Now he sees it. He sees the pylon. He sees the warp in. The queen is retreating. He's going to sack that base. Was he just waiting for the units? He was walking back, and look at the smiles here in the booth, and Choya is already having so much fun. Everything is working exactly as he intended, and Hyvaa is like, ah.
You know, I mean, the Roachborn is just not done. And without roaches, he's not going to hold this hatchery. No question about that. And the queens actually look like they may fall here. Time warped. And they're off creep here for just a second. But this may actually buy him enough time to get the roaches out. It's going to be close. I don't think he can save the hatch.
Yeah, one of the queens is already down there. Just way too many zealots. I don't think that hatch is... No, there's no way. The hatch definitely dying here. Hatch is gone. There comes the second time warp. He wants that queen and he wants it bad, but the queen escapes. Zergling's moving in right now, taking down one zealot after another. A lot of the Zerglings, on the other hand, also biting gloves. Finally, the roach is in the game, but only one of them. One roach against 3 zealots. That's not a fair fight.
Lair is started for Hyvaa, but it's a little bit uncomfortable for him because he used so much larva on drones, and now the worker count is even. You never want to have that, especially if the Protoss player has a Nexus up and you have no third hatchery. So, ouch. This is a really good position for Choya starting things off here.
It definitely is. Not scouting the pylon or the probe was definitely a blow to Hyvaa. He did not see that coming, and then when the warp-ins were there, he was already a little bit behind. He didn't expect it. He lost his third base because of it. And now he's trying to pull the moves out. He's going for the burrow upgrade here.
Yeah, and +1, and he did not see the robotics, as was highlighted before by our observer. The Overlord just a little bit too far to the left. So the burrow upgrade here is not really going to be all too useful necessarily. Now, if Choya follows up with an Immortal all-in, which it looks like he's about to, that would make things just too Choya. But if he does that and doesn't have an observer, the burrow might buy Hyvaa just a little bit of time.
Yeah, the burrow upgrade can do a lot if you do not have detection in the game. And even with the robotics, if you don't go and build one of those observers, you're going to have a bit of a problem there. So that's definitely like a little bit... That's one of the points where Choya can make a mistake that Hyvaa could capitalize on.
Yeah. Good scouts here by Choya, by the way. You know, back when he was playing the game, Hallucination wasn't free, utilizing that new tactic. And he sees the third base timing here. And for him, he knows, okay, there's not a lot of larvae here. You're trying to drone up a little bit here because you used so much before. Now I've got a really strong time where you're probably not going to have units to hold. You don't have that production from that third hatchery.
What's really good is, by the way, the creep spread that we see coming out of Hyvaa. He is really meticulous about it at this point, and that could help him a bit when it comes down to actually dealing with the units of his opponent. But we have now the Warp Prism on the way, trying to just do a bit of damage here. One sentry and, of course, a single Immortal, trying to drop that and do some damage. And at the same time, well, the Overlord already spotted it, but we have units walking across the map trying to put some aggression on Choya himself.
No observers. Second Immortal queued up instead. Warpin Zealots, great. Just one sentry, all you need. Trap that Queen, one more shot to do it, and you know this hatchery may fall again with another round of Zealots. The Immortal doing so much damage, he turns around even.
He doesn't have speed. He does not have speed here. That was one of the biggest problems. He's gonna save the hatch, but yep, that was definitely scary. And the Warp Prism is still around, so if the Warp Prism moves in again and drops that Immortal, the Immortal could well take out the third.
Yeah, he can just continue to drop it, shoot the hatchery once or twice, drop it again, because there's no Queen nearby that's being rebuilt right now. And this is exactly what he's going to do. Kills the rocks here, but back up to the north, he's going to drop it again and start hitting that hatchery once more.
He's moving in. There are a few units already in position, but most of them are actually drones. Here comes that one Immortal. And Choya just needs to pick up. Easy. There we go.
353 left there on that hatchery. Meanwhile, third Nexus is going up. I would love to see the hit points on that Immortal. I think it's probably down to like less than 20.
Neural Parasite is an upgrade that we haven't seen in quite some time. It's actually really interesting that Hyvaa is going for that immediately.
You think it's a mistake?
No, I don't think so. I don't think that he's going to make a mistake like that. But he's going to lose his third now, as expected. So that's a problem. And you know, I'm a little bit surprised that he actually lost it that easily. He must have known that the Warp Prism would have come back. I would have even liked him just to get an Overlord over there to keep track of the Warp Prism a little bit.
Yeah, or at least leave like 10 lings. 10 lings alone, the first time he drops the Immortal out, the second time is going to make it pick up real fast.
Look at that creep spread on the other hand.
Yeah, I mean, really, really good. He's already halfway across.
Would be proud of that.
Now he cuts off a path here for Choya to attack to, and now he can actually make a hatchery up there. Would be a good choice. Phoenix Scout in the main, and he's not going to know about Neural Parasite. Now, if Hyvaa neurals all the Immortals, you can actually turn a battle around really quickly.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for him, though, there's not a whole lot of Stalkers or anything the Immortals are going to do well against except themselves.
Choya is doing pretty decent here, and still the Warp Prism is around, and that just shows once again that as a Zerg player, you're so limited in your options against air if you do not go for that Spire. And that's what we see right now. As soon as Neural Parasite is done, he can of course just Neural Parasite the Warp Prism and get that back into the action, use the Queens to take it out. But for the time being, the Warp Prism in general is just so super annoying.
Oh my god. He's actually going to get the hatch cancel again. Yep. And he could save 2 Zealots. Wow. Choya could actually drop right now and maybe even snipe, but he decides not to. He's not paying attention, but he's going towards the main base now. The Roach is already reacting. No Neural on that.
Yeah, James Bond Infestor is a little bit lazy today, not going to do anything here. And Choya is now confronted with the Infestor attack of his opponent. The Overseer flying right into the Sentries and Stalkers, not scouting too much for Hyvaa. Choya with a pretty good grasp on that game, even taking a supply lead here.
Yeah. This is looking worse and worse for Hyvaa all the time here. Now getting the Pathogen Glands upgrades, which really begs the question. I mean, I really don't think that was a mistake, but it didn't come in handy for him, not at all. So, 5 Infestors over here, all starting to build their energy up regardless of not having the upgrade earlier. He has 8 in total now. But Choya has an uncontested third base that he got for free. He's going into Colossus production. He still has those very potent 4 Immortals. Denying creep tumors anywhere he can. Choya's playing this really well.
Yeah.
I'm very impressed, to be honest.
He's doing a really good job against Hyvaa, and Hyva's probably not going to be too happy about that, at least not up to this point. Now Hyvaa pulling out the APM, he himself going up to 500 at times, trying to make that work. He knows about everything that's going on, so he also sees this army moving into the middle of the map. And that's the force that he has to deal with, and it's going to be the decisive moment in the game, I feel, because so far he has only taken blows. He needs to dish out some damage now.
Here we go. Warp Prism in the middle of the fray. Looks like he wanted to try to drop the Immortals in there. This is way too much Choya and not enough Hyvaa. He's actually going to get all of the Infestors here, well, at least a lot of them. The ones in the front, way out of position there.
He wants to fungal. He wants to make sure that those Stalkers cannot just chase him down, but he loses a few of the Infestors in the process, and the +3 attack upgrade is already started for Choya, who's currently at 1 armor and 2 attack. And just in general, I mean, that's the same upgrades that we see for Hyvaa here, but Hyvaa, he needs a couple of wins. He's trying to cheek in a few of those expansions. That's the cheekiest expansion that I've ever seen.
Yeah, I mean, when you're in this type of situation, I don't blame him. And the hatch goes down, no cancel. Great position for these Colossi. There's no way. Even if he Neurals one of them, the Infestor's going to die so fast, it's not going to matter. And I think that's about it for this game. Choya takes an early lead and really runs with it. You know, you cannot really undervalue that fast snipe on the third that we saw earlier. That really gave him the very dominant position in this game.
Choya currently shows Hyvaa pretty convincingly who's the alpha chick monk. And that, yeah, I mean, he just took the title of Albert. That's definitely shown.
Yeah. One fungal on 4 Stalkers, not going to change this game.
Only Roaches. There's nothing else in this army. A couple of Zerglings, yes, but they're going to be gone in a second. The flank is good. The fungal's not shabby, but still, look at this. This is just Choya demolishing Hyvaa.
Force Field's really good. No Vipers, no Ultralisk, no Hive Tech. And another fungal. That fungal was really good, but there's a good blink to counter it. Needs to pull those Colossi back, or maybe he doesn't. Maybe he just has too much DPS.
Yeah, the damage alone that he's putting out there is just too much. There's nothing to do with those Colossi. There's absolutely nothing. He's just moving in, and Choya is going to take that. I mean, that's a 70 supply lead for a Protoss player. You can't beat that.
He's got +2 on all of his units as well, don't forget. So they're doing a massive amount of damage to the one Carapace of Hyvaa. Also, Choya had his own +1 armor, and he has to type out here.
Yeah, this is going to be it. 75 supply gets 186. The base is going down. Choya is just cleaning up. This is a cleaning job at this point.
Yep. Yeah, he's got a smile on his face, well deserved. I cannot wait to see what sort of celebration he's got planned. If he does not have one, I will be shocked. 131 Zerglings died this game, and I think a lot of the pride of Hyvaa died with them.
Yeah, Hyvaa can't be too happy about that. A little bit of banner still going on in the chat here, but so far so good for the Protoss player and also for Team Red. Pulling out the first win here. Choya versus Hyvaa, a little bit unexpected. At least the way that he did it.
Is it Choya's voice I just heard? Like, I think there's a mic on Choya's voice. I heard a noise, man. Maybe it's just he's reaching through to me somehow, but GG.